Hi, Eurovision Files reporting from the media center just after the results. Hello, Kiki Babs. Just after the first semi-final results, and yeah, what a ride!
What a ride, yes. A bit of a shock in some ways. I think most of it was expected. But yeah, there's always a surprise, isn't it?
There was a heartbreaker for a lot of people that were expecting a little more from Moldova. Montenegro. Sorry, Montenegro. Moldova is great, but my heart is broken for Montenegro. But otherwise, it went about as what we expected, didn't it?
Yes, for me, the shocker qualifier was Belgium.
I did not see that coming.
The qualifying.
I did not see them qualifying. No, they shocked the world today, and good on them for it because I didn't see it coming. Nobody saw it coming, and Belgium's through to the final. So well done on showing us all up.
There's always a slap in the face for someone, and this one was for us.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, obviously for me as well, Serbia. I did say I did not like it, but I completely understand that they got a lot of fans, and that's absolutely fine. So, well done to them.
I knew Serbia was qualifying. I knew it. I wasn't expecting Belgium. I was expecting actually San Marino to qualify, especially because Italy could vote today, and we know like proximity and.
Yeah.
I suspect that the loyalty between San Marino and Italy is not as tight as Cyprus and Greece per se. There's definitely big brother, little brother energy there, and sometimes big brother doesn't deliver for little brother.
Let's remember that last year Italy did not give. I don't know if they actually voted for. They didn't give a high vote for San Marino, and they were singing Tutta l'Italia. So
They were jealous.
Yes. I also think you could see on Zenit's and Boy George's faces that they were struggling towards the end. I don't think they were expecting this.
No. Unfortunately, I hope what the lesson Zenit takes from this is that she does not need anyone else except herself.
Yeah.
She needs a song that is tailored for her, not tailored for her and a celebrity. Just Zenit is all she needs for the future.
No featuring.
No features.
I'm actually super happy for Lithuania.
Shocker. I'm not at all surprised. The staging won me over. I was cool on it, but then finally I saw the full vision that Lion Sika had, and it worked perfectly. I love the staging for this one. Yeah. Well done to Lithuania. Well done.
Sorry, I'm working. I'm doing some technical work as we speak. I really liked Lithuania yesterday, so I'm very pleased for him.
But you never know how people watching at home will take it.
Absolutely, yes. I think even when we did our impressions yesterday, we had not seen it on TV, and I think some of our impressions actually changed when we saw the first rehearsal with the audience actually. So. Yeah, but I really liked it, so I'm very happy that they went through.
It is important to remember this is a TV show. It is meant for a TV audience. So when you're sitting there live, you're not getting the full experience all the time. And that was the case for Lithuania for us yesterday. We didn't see the full vision, but when we saw it on the screen today, it just made perfect sense. It was undeniable they were going through.
Yes. It's a bold choice as well, like the whole atmosphere of the performance, the staging. But it delivered.
I will say, I feel like we've entered a subtitles arms race that Italy started last year because we have subtitles from Ferto, we have subtitles from Alist on Thursday, Lion Sika's subtitles. We're going to be seeing a lot more subtitles in the future because it appears that subtitles work, and they will get you through.
But in Lithuania's case this year, the subtitles were a little bit like in a jokey way,
But they still help you understand the song.
Yeah.
As funny as they were, as interesting they were, if you didn't know what the song was through the first chorus, by the time the second one hit, you're ready. You get it. And I definitely think that helped push them over.
Yeah. Any more thoughts?
Not
just on Lithuania, in general.
No, I'm actually, I was thinking of something that has nothing to do with the countries themselves. I actually really liked how they did the voting last year, where with the split screen between three countries, I think it gave it a little bit more mystery to the thing, and this was a bit like, not bland, but I know that we could see the reactions at the end, but I sort of liked it last year when it was like, okay, one of these three countries is going through, and this year they're just announcing it. They talked about it today at the press briefing. They said, we think it's better like this. I personally prefer last year's way of doing it. I don't know what you thought.
For this spectacle, I think it's good to have as last year, but for putting artists on the spot, I didn't like last year particularly. It was the first time that they did it that way.
Yes.
And I think for their own sake, this is better. I don't know what to think.
I think for the sake of the production team especially, they think the new system is much more straightforward, and those people are working so hard on every little thing. If we can take one thing off their plate, that works for me. So let's keep I like the drama too, but
I think what I liked about the three screens is that you could actually see them when they get the announcement, but here you're listening to the
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Maria, but we are in the final. They never do
We-
this to us.
we
They
have
always
someone.
announce us at the beginning.
We have someone from Lithuania.
Oh yeah, I'm from Lithuania. We do. Now I'm a part of the video. Yes. Oh my god, they never do this to us. They always announce us first, second, or fourth, and now they kept us till the 9th. What is this?
The drama! It's the drama!
Yeah, I don't know.
You need to see my reaction.
Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, we're going to the final.
Viva Moldova!
We got Kiki Babs as well. We got lots of people here today.
Yes.
I'll get you a sticker of the Euro.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no worries, man.
So, after an interruption,
We were talking about.
the split screen.
Okay.
So I was saying I like the three screens because you actually see them when they get the announcement. But now, the country is announced and then you see them being happy, but you don't see when they hear the countries, the names. So I think that's the only thing I don't really like. But yeah, I mean, just thoughts. It was different last year.
Are there any thoughts on the big four, or let's say Italy
yes.
and Germany's performances this year?
I'm worried about Italy not making his voice until Saturday because after each rehearsal, I get the feeling that he's losing his voice a little bit. So I'm a little bit worried. I know that his voice is like that, like very raspy, but it's getting worse.
Especially when he's reaching for that top note, there is going to be work there. I would argue he's probably not hitting. He's not doing 100% because he's going to be there on Saturday. He's not going to give us the full effort at the dress rehearsal.
So you think he's saving his voice?
I think he's saving his voice.
I think he's not reaching.
Well, I suppose we'll see on Saturday.
We'll see on Saturday. Yes. Who else we got today? We got Germany.
We got Germany.
Yeah.
She's a great performer.
Yeah.
That song is not quite up. It doesn't celebrate her strengths. I think that she likes the message of the song, which makes a lot of sense. It's a very good message. I just don't know if the song itself is servicing her as a performer, and that hurts.
Yeah, similar. I would say, when people say, he has to perform 4 times in 2 days, I always say most artists that go through a gig, they do 20-something songs or more every night, or every 3-4 nights they do this. You can't justify it like that. I appreciate that they're doing a lot of press as well, so that's probably it. But I think he's struggling a lot, and he's gonna have to rest his voice for the next couple of days. Germany, I actually think I'm pleasantly surprised. I think the song is quite catchy. She seems to perform very well. We've said it before, it's probably the best dance break they have. Yeah, and going back to the dance breaks, I think Montenegro, for me, I don't think the whole look, actually the vibe, worked as well as he probably thought it would.
I'm surprised. One of the shockers for me, because Belgium went through, is Belgium going through and Montenegro not going through,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we have the juries again back in the semifinals. We will see how the distribution of votes went by Sunday, so we cannot really comment on that. But I'm really surprised that Belgium went through and Montenegro didn't.
I'm very curious because I think that will be an interesting board to look at. My worry about Montenegro is it felt very vertical and not horizontal. You know, there's a lot. It felt very contained, and that song kind of demands a bit more, a little less restraint. You know, we are celebrating a new dawn for women everywhere,
Yeah.
and it feels like it was still a little contained. And I wonder if that hurt them, because that is a great song. She's a dynamic performer, but the staging for it just didn't feel up to what the song was saying, and I think that let them down.
But
Yeah.
are you thinking about what we saw on the screen today or what you saw in the rehearsal yesterday?
I mean, I'm looking at the screen today because the screen today was still very contained, and I was hoping for a lot more energy from it, and didn't get it.
I did say yesterday, I think this thing she's wearing around her neck, which, you know, I appreciate. Apparently she's wearing Lady Gaga's designer, and this is, you know, top of, you know, fashion for a pop performer, but I think it's actually impacting her performance negatively. I think she looks hunched. That's my feeling every time I see her. And obviously, you know, what you want is probably to look proud and straight up, and it's completely the opposite. So I am fearing that that's what affected it. I mean, obviously, you know, you can't change what's happened. What's happened has happened already.
In terms of Portugal, for instance, I've never been a fan of the song. I think they can sing very beautifully, but I'm surprised because I thought they were gonna be doing well with the juries. I don't know what happened there. Again, we will know on Sunday probably, but I'm surprised as well.
Well, they might have done very well with the juries and not at all well with the audience. It could be.
Yes.
I think I've said it before, it was a beautiful song. I think they performed it very well. I think it's probably a little bit bland in terms of, you know, last year Portugal had also a boy band, but it was a very different vibe, even though it was also like a very chilled song. But the fact that, you know, it looked like they were performing with their own instruments, I think it was a bit different, and it probably plays better for everyone, for the audience and for the juries.
And the thing with Eurovision as well is like, of course, your performance matters, but it also matters who are you competing with. So for Portugal, again, I think these performances stood out because there was nothing similar at all in the semi-final. But yeah,
I think one more thing that we have to consider is messaging. The song last year resonated with people around the world.
That's true.
Around the world. There are so many people who could see themselves in that story that Deslocato was telling. I think this is a beautiful song this year. Rosa is a very beautiful song. I don't know if it has that same resonance around the world.
Probably.
You know, it is designed very specifically to this cultural moment in Portugal. It is the most popular style of music in Portugal right now. But this one was very Portuguese, while last year was very global.
Yes.
And I think since they can't vote for themselves, that kind of did them in.
Agreed.
we couldn't vote today because we're in Austria, so maybe we can vote on Thursday.
Yes. Could you vote, Dimitri? Was rest of the world allowed to vote?
Rest of the world can vote in either semifinal. I personally will not be voting because I am economically boycotting.
Yes.
But if you are in rest of the world, that is a choice you have. Your money goes to the EBU when you do that, which is why I'm boycotting. But we can vote in both semis.
Yeah. We couldn't vote because we are using the UK credit cards.
The problem with the semi-final, it happened last year because we are in a different country and it's the country that is not allowed to vote, and then our number and credit card is from the UK.
So, yes.
So let's see if we can vote on Thursday.
I think you can.
We should, yeah, but last year I think we also have trouble. That's the problem with people that are abroad.
I couldn't vote for Erika in the final because it said that that number didn't exist.
Yes.
But I voted for Lithuania.
Yes. So we did have some trouble.
Yes. So people, let's comment on the reactions here in the press center.
Yeah.
People went crazy for the Moldovan song, and everyone were really happy. You will see a reaction on the Moldovan going through. people were really happy about Poland as well. There was a lot of Polish people
Yes,
here.
it was the last one as well.
Yeah, so it was
I think
nerve-wracking for...
Yes, there was a lot of panic.
Yeah.
The passion for Greece was obvious. Everyone loved Greece.
Yeah, but
so.
I think Greece was an obvious choice to qualify.
Of
Like
course.
everyone was really confident that Greece and Finland would qualify.
Yeah.
We were nervous about Moldova, but let's be honest.
It was never a problem.
It was
Right?
never, it was never going to be a problem. The issue is when they leave behind until the 5th or the 6th place, and you're like, what is happening now? Please, just take us out of our misery. So,
Yeah.
so
So
yeah.
imagine Polish
But
people.
we were 100% sure that Moldova was qualifying. There was no one, even Greece or Finland, didn't have that reaction. When they were performing.
because I think everyone knows.
Yeah, it was obvious.
One of the best openers as well, in probably
One
in
of the best or
the best opener in the history of Eurovision.
setting up the mood for the whole country.
Absolutely.
I mean, I will throw out that 3 times the opener has won the Eurovision Song Contest, so it depends on what your definition of best is. So,
In terms of my favorite song,
Okay,
vibe,
okay.
etc. That's
That
what
I
I think it
understand.
sets the mood
Yeah,
very
that's
well
fair.
for
Yeah.
the whole contest.
It's just it was just the whole vibe it brought to the arena, to the media center, to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it was like it was putting everyone in a very, very good mood, in a mood for partying as
that's
well.
fair. That's fair.
But I think in terms of shockers this year, we have less shocking, no qualifiers or qualifiers than
Yes.
last year. And for me this time, it was probably just Belgium.
I will say, I was a little worried for my girls from Croatia. I know there's a little hateration
No.
and holleration going on in this dancery, but I love those girls, and I was worried because it's a
I
different type of
wasn't
song.
worried about that.
No, I thought they were gonna go through.
Yeah.
I just thought. For me, it didn't quite make it, but I thought it was an artistic performance and one that was probably gonna go through.
Hey, I'm glad my faith was rewarded, but there's always going to be a heartbreaker in these semis.
I'm generally happy with the qualifiers. Actually,
I think so.
I think it was probably a tough one, and some, I was sort of expecting the ones that were not going to go through. I would say, Montenegro was probably the one that, if I compare it with someone, it was going to be Belgium, and then I
Yeah.
would say
I would have switched
Montenegro
those.
should have. Yes.
I would have switched those, but
Yeah.
the people have spoken, and that's what happened.
Yes.
So that's us for the moment.
For today,
For today.
we're coming back tomorrow.
We're coming back tomorrow for the first reactions of the first dress rehearsal of the second semi-final of Eurovision 2026.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye everyone.